You are not independent of your ecosystem. You are interdependent with everything in existence. Everything that happened and happens in the universe impacts you, and everything you do impacts everyone and everything. The first and most important lesson we must master in life is that of becoming aware that everything is interrelated and nothing acts or happens in isolation of its environment. You must start everything you do from the knowledge that all your thoughts, intentions, feelings, fears, and hidden desires, let alone your actions or inactions, are energy patterns, sound waves, impacting everything and everyone around you. If our science will remove its blinders, the medical science, to design instruments to measure the cacophony created in the world by our inner states, we'll be able to prove at the physical level the theory of karma. What goes around comes around. The quantum entanglement, or the spooky action at a distance of Einstein's theory, describe our interrelatedness and this invisible conversation taking place. But since our blind science, medical science, relies only on the visible, it made a fundamental error to only study the action and its consequences of solid things and not of their immaterial substance. And that's why it cannot heal the condition caused by this immaterial substance, such as your thoughts and feelings. There is no pill against feeling unworthy, unloved, abandoned. The process behind these crippling feelings is the result of this invisible conversation taking place in our environment. Is the result of the feelings, thoughts, intentions, desires, actions and inactions of everyone we come in contact with since birth. The way they look at us, the way they call our names, whatever hidden feelings and intentions our parents, teachers, friends, partners had and have about us are all subtle elements that have contributed to the formation and maintenance of our inner states on which we've built our belief systems and social identities. And in the same way, every thought, every intention, every feeling, every fear, and every desire we have their own sound wave pattern, which we broadcast every millisecond, and which not only impact our inner states, but the whole ecosystem. And I can demonstrate that to you. The simplest example is when you feel bad in the presence of someone you've never met before, even if they say or do nothing to you. We all had that feeling. We call it gut instinct, and we stop at that. Another example is when that feeling extends beyond space and time, when we just know something is amiss. Something bad happened or is about to happen to a loved one or to us. Or when we think about someone and they just call us. We call it a hunch and we carry on as if it didn't exist. Another example is the expression, the atmosphere in a room was so thick that you could cut it with a knife. You see, you're made to believe that these experiences are rare and happen only to those gifted with extrasensory perception. But you are all endowed with extrasensorial perception, only that you are not aware of it. You feel and hear everyone's thoughts, feelings, and intentions, only that you don't pay attention unless they regard you. Often, you feel agitated or depressed because the broadcasted signal from the general population has reached its peak of negativity. We feel other people's negative thoughts and emotions and think that they are ours. This is the law of resonance. That's why you like to visit certain places and spend time with certain people and hate dislike, or are afraid of others. That's why you crave certain foods at certain times and dislike them at others, or need to be in nature at certain times and stay away from it at others, or get bitten by a dog even if that dog has never bitten anyone before. That's why some have the green hand and others don't. It's a matter of resonance. And each of us experience this exchange at different degrees, from inklings to presentiments, all the way to strange dreams, hearing voices or strange sounds, smells, tastes, or unexplained panic attacks and feelings of dread, which we call anxiety, and which we try to medicate and meditate away with little results, if any. Not only we hear and feel other thoughts, intentions, and actions when we are awake, but also when we sleep. People have telepathic abilities which they share during sleep as well as during their awake state. And when I say people, I mean us. Sometimes when you wake up trying to make sense of a bewildering dream, it may be that you have picked up on someone else's dream or on someone else's activity at the other side of the planet, on a different time zone, or another life you have in a different dimension. Because at subtle levels, we are unbound by time and space, and our extrasensorial perceptions are our natural Wi-Fi devices. And just in case you thought this is just a mumbo-jumbo new agey stuff, think again. This is very much rooted in science. We have scientific studies dated back in 70s looking experimentally at dreams and telepathy between people put in two isolated chambers. One such paper reads as follows: the demonstration that information transfer can occur through as yet unidentified sensory channel, or that a resonance effect can be induced, linking the brain activity of two individuals in sensory isolation from each other, would give credence to at least a proportion of the many spontaneous and anecdotal accounts of such happenings. There is another recent scientific study that puts the heart at the center of our reading our environment. As Self says in the Conversation with Self book, the heart is our most powerful reading device and the mechanism through which we receive and share information with everyone and everything in our environment. Well, what ancient wisdom, ancient philosophy, and near-death experiences have told us, now science is getting close to identifying with clear scientific data and proving basically the ancient spiritual teachings are scientific in nature. I will link the scientific studies I mentioned in the text box. But for now, just to give you a reading of this heart scientific study. It goes like that. All biological systems on the planet are exposed to an external and internal environment of fluctuating invisible wide range of magnetic field frequencies. These fields can affect virtually every cell and circuit to a greater or lesser degree. The heart detects stimuli from the environment before the brain. There is a direct mathematical relationship between the heart rate variability patterns, which contain our magnetic potentials of our emotions, and the spectral information encoded in the magnetic field. This ultimately means that our emotions and consciousness, through our heart energies and fields, are truly pulsating and resonate with the far universe in highly organized hierarchical manner. Now, this is a peer-reviewed scientific study, which I'm going to link for you to read. But this unseen well of data is the place from where we draw our inspiration, our natural talents, our knowledge not learned from the books. That feeling of certitude you have about something in your whole being, although not knowing how you know it or where it comes from. It's your extrasensorial perception reading the environment. That's how animals feel earthquakes or other natural cataclysms before they happen, and how dogs feel their owner presence before they arrive. In the same way, this is how we feel our anxiety, and this is how we feed into each other's depression and negative thoughts and emotions at a distance. You do something, you are in your daily routine, and you just feel low energies, like the low pressure, atmospheric pressure in the outside world matches your inner states, and vice versa. It's like you go, and there is the expression, it goes with the weather. It's like we do go with the weather because we are influenced, as the studies demonstrate, not only at the planetary level through the Schumann frequencies, but at a galactic level. So whether we like it or not, you unless you are a rock, and I believe that even rocks have feelings, but at their own level, you can't escape this unseen communication, unseen pool of data in which we all bathe. So it's very important that you know these facts. We have reached a time in human evolution where we need to take responsibility for the ecology of our environment at this unseen level. Just as you don't litter the streets with your chips bag or your sandwich plastic box, the same way we have to understand that we can't carry on littering this and polluting the environment with our unchecked and uneducated thoughts and emotions. It's very, very important. As important as it's for us to become aware that sometimes not all our negative emotions and our down feeling and our depressed states are ours. But you cannot identify whether it's something that is within you, something that you are afraid of, something that you haven't paid attention to, something that you put on a back burner, like you've been procrastinating for quite a while, and there it's the Gemini cricket coming at your doors like, hello, you have that bill that needs to be paid, or you need to do that, and you need that job application to be sent, or you promise that you will do this. Those are natural Gemini cricket signals that, if you want, are our positive anxiety makers, because without them, we'll just fall on our back and we'll never do anything. But there are downsiders, there are negative anxiety creators that are not necessarily ours. And you can identify which one is which only when you have done your spring clean, so to speak. When you have done your inner journeying, which we are doing through the Phoenix journaling exercise later in the program, and through the avatars exercise. But again, before I let you go, before I end this chapter, be aware that not all your thoughts and feelings and dreams are yours, just as everything that you think and intend and desire and that is not clean. Be aware that you are putting out, you are broadcasting, you are littering the environment with. And whatever you put out there, those are your kids. These kids are going to keep you at ransom until you have perfected your mind, your heart, until you purified your intentions. So everything evil and negative in a world are this collective key emitted, broadcasted from our moments of struggle, from our moments of unawareness. And no matter how hard we try to make a step forward in our life, they seem to keep coming back. We seem to always come back to the same bad result. Well, most of the time is because of that. It's because we have these ungrown kids into the world. And until we do our full spring clean inner work to see what we have unsolved, what areas in our life we need to, what chapters we have to close, what corners of our mansions we need to dust off, what skeletons we have in our cupboards that we need to get rid of. Only then can we be truly free. And only then can we actually start growing into the next human, the next phase in our evolutionary process. So, yes, you are not independent of your ecosystem.